test recording. Date, March 19, 1979 at 4:16 p.m. Today's last interview was with...
You've got 20 minutes, Nate.
Thank you.
Just remember, you owe me.
Don't worry. I always pay back my favors.
All right, 20 minutes.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
So, what does a journalist such as yourself want with little old me?
Well, Miss Cotton.
Mrs.
Beg your pardon?
While my husband may have been taken from this earth way too soon, I am still a married woman. A widow, yes, but still married.
My apologies, Mrs. Cotton. What can you tell me about the tunnels?
Tunnels? Oh, I don't have the foggiest idea of what you're talking about.
Mrs. Cotton, not meaning to insult you, but you're a pathological liar. Excuse me for not taking your word for it.
Whose word would you take? Should you ask the nice orderlies that make sure I'm in my room at lights out, and the ones that know I'm there come morning? Or am I a witch, like some want to call me? Do I have magical powers? Do I converse with the devil naked in the moonlight? Should I be burned at the stake? Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? The warmth, the light, the cleansing of the fire, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Would you care to join me?
In what?
Burn with me, Mr. Burke. Burn with me.
Could freedom be between the lines?
Let me tell you a story.
Enjoy a life foundation springing up to find
I've done a lot of bad.
that every thought will lead to nothing.
What? Are we talking possession or something?
No matter how hard you try to define
The vessel.
Take me down to the final decision, and the world will break apart today.
Then let's make a plan.
And the world will break apart
Burn with me.
today.
I don't think I will, Mrs. Cotton. So I don't think you're a witch. I don't think you have magical powers. Even if I did believe in such things, I wouldn't believe you had them. I think you're just a troubled woman, but I do believe you have a story to tell.
And what story would that be? Oh, please tell me.
You know, it's really dumb luck. I sometimes have trouble sleeping. My wife sleeps well enough. Even my boy sleeps through the night. Me, however, classic insomniac. I guess it's the writer in me. My head gets to racing with ideas for stories, different leads, angles, the like, and I just can't sleep.
Sorry. But I don't see how this has anything to do with me. And I'm quickly losing interest.
Just bear with me. I promise it'll make sense in a minute.
I'm counting down in my head, Mr. Burke.
I don't want to wake up my wife, so I go downstairs. Sometimes I'll scribble stuff in a notebook. Can't really type anything because that would certainly wake up the whole house. So sometimes I go for a walk, especially on nice nights like we've had here lately.
Still counting.
Sometimes I'll walk 2-3 miles away. I mean, I don't live too far from here, so I pass the hospital every once in a while. And that's exactly what happened last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday, you say?
Yes. It must have been 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, dead quiet. Well, almost dead quiet. I heard someone talking. Darndest thing, though, it was you. And you might not converse with the devil, Mrs. Cotton, but you were certainly conversing with someone, and that's not even the strangest thing.
And what would the strangest thing be?
You weren't in your room. No, you were on the grounds, outside of the building, talking to someone through one of the windows on the bottom floor.
And who was I speaking with?
Oh, that I don't know. Well, not yet, anyway. On my way in here, I checked. No one seems to be using the office at the moment, but it also wasn't locked either, so anybody could have wandered in. An orderly, a doctor, another patient, such as yourself. After all, if you can easily get out of your room and out of the hospital, I'm sure others could as well.
And if you think I escaped, why haven't you told someone?
I did. I talked with someone named Dr. Barton. He assured me that escaping was quite impossible and that I must have been mistaken.
And what did you apparently overhear me saying?
It was about the thing you don't have the foggiest idea about. The tunnels. Now, my guess is that you're using them to make your way to the outside and talk to whoever it is you're talking about. How am I doing so far?
Oh, don't bother asking me anything. Well, you seem to know the story all by yourself.
Well, I know the details, but what I don't know is why. See, there's a story here. I know it. I just can't figure out what it is. Did I say something funny?
Oh, very much so, Mr. Burke. Oh, you think you know so much. But in truth, you know nothing.
Well, then, I think I have enough. But why don't you prove me wrong?
No. If I told you everything, you simply would not believe me. Oh, after all, you already said you don't believe in such things.
In what things?
Magic, Mr. Burke. But not the magic from those fairy tales you read to your boy to get him to go to sleep. Oh, this story doesn't start out with once upon a time. And it sure doesn't end with, and they all lived happily ever after. The tunnels are the stuff of nightmares. Horribly beautiful nightmares. He calls to me in the night. He whispers my name. He needs me. He's told me this for weeks now. Without me, he cannot be free. Without me, he cannot be whole again.
Who?
So I slip out into the night, make my plans, and return. None the wiser. The orderlies, don't make the rounds like they're supposed to, you know. They say they do, but there's so few of them now. Much less than there was when I arrived, anyway. Back then, they could have easily kept an eye on us, but not now. Now it's easy to disappear for a few hours, and I do make the most of that time.
What are you planning?
That's our little secret.
Our?
No, Nathan. Do you mind if I call you Nathan? Seeing you're finding out all of this intimate stuff about me, I feel it's only fair. I'll even let you call me Annabelle. That way we can be really friendly with our conversation.
Mrs. Cotton.
Annabelle. After all, I wouldn't dare say anything like this to someone who still calls me Mrs. Cotton. Well, that would mean we ain't friends. And I think you want to be friends. Don't you, Nathan?
No, I have enough friends, and none of them are locked up in a hospital like this. But, Annabelle, if you would be so kind as to answer my questions, I would be very grateful. Who else is helping you? Is it a doctor? An orderly? Another patient? Someone else entirely?
Oh, Nathan. Poor Nathan. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I'll be telling you any of that today. I mean, one would have to be plumb crazy to just hand that information over. After all, what's in it for me?
Don't you want your story heard?
Oh, Nathan, trust me. When this is all said and done, I won't need you to tell my story.
I could tell the orderlies, go to the cops.
Oh, do you really think going to the cops is the smart play here? Do you think you can believe them? You better be careful, Nathan. They might just think you've finally gone round the bend. You might find yourself locked up in here with me. Well, then again, think of the fun we might have with that. No, I don't think you'll tell anyone. Wouldn't want to lose your precious story for anything, now would you?
You know, I'm not going to stop digging.
Bring a shovel, 'cause you're going to have to dig fairly deep, and when it's all said and done, you might just have a hole big enough to be your own grave. Wouldn't that be just the quinky-dink?
Yeah, I suppose so. I guess I'm just going to have to find out things for myself.
Oh, I'd hurry if I were you. Wouldn't want you to miss a thing. And just remember, Mr. Burke, the offer still stands.
What offer?
Burn with me, Nathan. Just burn with me.
I just can't fucking believe this.
I can't believe you checked yourself out of the hospital.
Look, if I'm going to have to lay around for a few days, I can do that just as easily. Here. And maybe I'll be a little bit useful as well. Besides, after 2 nights in the hospital, the doctors were begging me to leave.
Here, I made up the couch for her. If you want to, you could have the guest room as well, but I figured we'd be talking out here.
Plan.
Okay, now that you're here, you want to explain to me what the hell you were talking about at the hospital, Robert?
I think we need to find Locke.
Oh, yes, I am totally with the detective on this one. I mean, that bastard shot me. Yeah, the only thing I'd like to find him for is to return the favor.
Look, Locke is bad news, we all know that, but do you know anybody else who knows more about what's going on with Armin in the tunnels?
You?
I'm flattered, but I have no fucking clue what's going on at the moment. Everything I've read about Armin is like something out of a nightmare. I don't know what's true and what's a bedtime story. If we believed everything I've read about Armin, then we can just quit right now because there's no winning this fight. However, after meeting him, he's not everything the stories have told, which means we're missing something. And it's something I don't have.
And you think Locke does?
I don't know, maybe.
So you want to go after him based on a maybe?
Look, what other choice do we have? Besides, Armin isn't happy with him, and I know Ezekiel's not a fan.
The enemy of our enemy and all that.
Exactly.
Okay. Say I get on board with this. And that's still a big if for me. But do we even know where Locke would go?
He has that woman with him.
Tatum.
How do you know she was with him?
I didn't pass out until Cade got to me. I overheard most everything else that Barnabas, the doctor, and she had to say. Figured if she'd survived, she'd be with him.
Good deduction.
Hey, I'm not just a pretty face.
Okay, Tara, but if they're together, do we know where they would go?
No.
Shit. I might.
Where?
Well, Locke is a pretty smart guy. Psychotic, but smart, right?
Yeah.
Now, for most normal people, if you've pissed off some kind of elder god that might want to wish you harm, you'd get the hell out of Dodge, right?
The smart ones would.
Present company accepted?
But not George. He wouldn't run. He'd want to stay close enough so he could keep an eye on things, keep his ear to the grindstone, so to speak. So he'd hide in the last place anyone would expect him to be.
Where's that?
I think he's at the hospital.
Why would he be at the hospital?
He wouldn't be that stupid, would he?
You have to admit it'd be the last place anyone would expect him to go. He knows it, it's protected, and it has several exit routes for him should someone come calling.
Plus, he'd have access to the tunnels.
Maybe he's just dumb enough to be that smart.
If he's there, how do we approach him? I'm pretty sure appealing to his better nature is out of the question.
I'll talk to him.
What? Now you're the dumb one.
Look, despite everything, he seems to have a rapport with me, and after everything he's done, the one thing he's never done is lied to me.
That's reassuring.
Oh, yeah, that's totally reassuring, especially after I was the one who was shot when he promised not to hurt you, huh?
Look, if anybody else has a better idea, I'm all ears. I hate this plan seriously, but it's the only one I can think of. Please tell me somebody came up with something else.
You're not even thinking about going alone.
Oh god, no, I expect as many of you as possible to come save my ass at the first time in trouble.
Can I just point out, in case it wasn't clear, I refuse to be shot at again, okay? If it looks like he's gonna pull something, I'm taking him down, okay? And then I'm gonna shoot to make sure he doesn't get back up.
Me too.
Oh, hell no. You are not coming with us.
Do you know anyone else as good of a shot as me?
Me?
Well, I might give you a run for your money.
From a distance?
Okay, yeah, you got me there.
Leave me in the car. There's the clearing and a fairly clean path to it. Gives me a good line of sight on it and gives you...
I can't ask you to do that.
I don't recall you asking. I'm telling you what I'm doing.
Tara, you just got out of the hospital. You shouldn't be here, let alone getting in a car and taking pot shots at a crazy guy.
I'd love nothing more than to climb into a bed and sleep till September ends, but this is an all-hands-on-deck situation. You can't afford to bench anyone.
Okay, you're right. Just promise me you'll be careful.
Oh yeah, I'm not interested in going back to the hospital, but you'll be a lot closer, so you've got to be careful as well.
I think I can handle someone like George Locke.
No. Cinder was strong. Locke is highly intelligent and devious to boot, and I don't know what Tatum's deal is, but both are extremely ruthless.
So we play it safe. If you insist on going in, call him out, and we set up on the perimeter just in case. It'll also allow us to either stop Locke if he tries to escape,
or at the very least track where he's going.
What about Tatum? What if she escapes? Do we go after her as well?
Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully we'll be able to talk both of them into helping. But if we've got to choose, we need him more than her.
So priority is Locke. Got it. Anything else?
Yeah, I just want to once again make it clear that the first time old George looks like he's gonna screw us, I'm putting him down. Do you have a problem with that, Detective?
If you miss, I won't.
Huh, fair enough.
I guess if we're going to do this, we can't afford to wait any longer.
Nope.
Let's do this.
I can't believe this.
Yeah, get ready to say that again.
Jesus, Miss Darden. What the hell are you doing sneaking up on a guy like that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I actually knocked, but, well, here I am.
I was lost in thought.
I'm just going to shut this door if you don't mind. Not sure if you want people to hear what I'm about to say or not.
Okay.
First, I need you to promise that you're not going to jump up and go on gung-ho out the door until after I finish talking to you. Do I have your word?
What the hell are you going on about?
Less than 48 hours ago, Cade was killed. And now, Ahriman, that thing you don't believe in, is free and loose.
What do you mean killed?
I don't know all the details. I just know that Robert and the rest had to get out of there pretty quickly in order to escape.
Then we need to get some people wherever they went and check because he could still be there.
Well, Robert's sure. Bowman's sure. We're all sure. Cade is gone. That's not what I'm here for. We're past the point of whether you believe it or not. We need your help because this is bigger than all of us, and it's going to take all of us.
What do you want out of me?
Do you see me standing here? This wasn't my fight. I was gone, out of town, putting this whole thing in my rearview mirror. Again. And now, I'm back. Because if we don't stop this thing here and now, there's no telling where it will go next.
So, you want me to go out there and tell everyone that some demon from hell has risen and we've got to go fight it?
If I thought that would help, I'd say sure. But getting them involved would just get more people hurt. You know what's going on, whether you want to believe it or not, so we definitely need you.
Look, Miss Darden, I can't condone some rogue action.
And we can't afford no action. That's how more people will die. Is that what you want? You found the file, didn't you?
Yeah. How long have you known about it?
Found it 2 months into my research on tunnels. A friend let me into the records room for some research, and I found it.
You never put it on the podcast.
We already had enough stuff on Annabelle. Robert and I both knew you were a good man. No sense trying to make you or your father look bad when we had so much other stuff to go on.
But he knew.
No, he didn't. He barely scratched the surface.
He knew something. He could have went to someone, the police, another doctor, but instead he sat on it.
He wanted the story.
And how many people died for him to keep it?
A lot.
And if he stopped it, would Cade still be dead?
I honestly don't know. This thing is patient. If it wasn't the explosion, then he would have just come up with something else. At most, it probably would have delayed him.
If this thing is out there, how long did it lay dormant before this kick-started everything?
Do you really want an answer to that?
Yes.
Centuries.
So delaying it could have stopped it for years, if not decades.
Or even longer.
So how many people did my father kill for this fucking story?
That is not a fair question.
It seems pretty fair to me.
No, the question you should be asking is how many lives are you putting at risk? Sheriff, we're kind of on the clock here.
Okay. If we're doing this, we are doing this my way.
Well, that might be a bit of a problem.
Jesus Christ, what are they planning now?
Planning? They're heading there now.
Christ, you better fill me in on the way there.
Yeah, maybe I should drive then.
Why?
Because when you hear the whole story, you're probably going to run us off the road.
That might be a good idea. Who you calling?
Hold on. Hey, Robert, I got him. Where are you at? Okay. Are you sure that's a good idea? Right. Then we're coming to back you up.
Whatever they are planning, tell them to wait until we get there.
Yeah, did you hear him? Yeah, I know where that is. We're probably only 20 minutes behind you.
Tell them we'll be there in 15.
Yeah, we're coming. Tell everyone to be careful. Are you sure about this?
No, but I'm sure nobody else is going to get hurt on my watch when I can do something about it. Let's go.
Tunnels is a Haunted Griffin Entertainment production. It was written by Robert Chauncey, Charlie Dukes, and Meghan Griffin. It stars
Cary Michael Ayers as Sheriff Floyd J. Burke.
Caitlin Buckley as Erica Young.
Robert Chauncey as Robert Chauncey.
Russell Gold as Barnabas Kane.
Sarah Golding as Karen Rogers.
Jason D. Johnson, George Locke.
Connie Kitts as Cary Darden.
Alex LaVelle as the orderly.
Pete Lutz as Ezekiel.
Lorelei Martine as Tatum Locke.
Rhiannon McAfee as Annabelle Cotton.
Tanja Milojevic as Tara.
Peter O'Malley as Detective Greg Bowman.
Our theme music is The World Will Break by Dano Songs. Our outro music, Into the Dark, was written by Thoro Smiley of Harmless Entertainment Network. If you like this, please give us a 5-star rating wherever you rate and review podcasts at. Also, if you want to hear other stuff that Haunted Griffin Entertainment produces, like Haunted Hell House of Horror or Marigold's Ghosts, as well as future projects like our upcoming spin-off of Marigold's Ghosts, Whistlewood, and our new sci-fi series Companion, you should follow us on Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook, we're Haunted Griffin Entertainment, and on Twitter, we can be found at both Tunnels Podcast and Haunted Griffin. You can also purchase merchandise from any of our shows at our TeePublic store, or if you really want to help us out, become a patron. All of this info and more can be found on our website at hauntedgriffin.com. And speaking of patrons, we would like to sincerely thank the following people who have supported us on Patreon: Tim Tweed, Tatum Adams, Kristen Jeter, Jenna Ledham, Tim Lowe, Meghan Griffin, Darren Bajent, Sumnote, Eileen Meek, and Axel M. Bajurki. This episode's audio drama spotlight shines on Someone Dies in This Elevator.
Different locations, different people, different stories, one constant.
It just feels like the setup for a joke, you know? 3 superheroes walk into an elevator.
We're in an elevator! An ancient Mayan elevator.
There is a dead man in this elevator. Oh my god, what are we...
You'd think, since it's a hotel, she'd have been killed in her room, right? I mean, that's what you'd expect, but no. She was killed in the elevator.
Someone dies in this elevator. A spoiler-driven anthology where no one is safe, including you.
What are we looking for?
I don't know.
Then how are we going to find it?
I'll know when I see it.
Great. Then why am I even trying?
It will be something out of place. Something that doesn't seem like it belongs.
Right, because whatever it is you're looking for has just been sitting here all this time, waiting patiently for you to find it.
Yes. What we're looking for has not been found. At least not by anyone who matters. Yeah, we would have heard about it. It would have been written about. Somebody would have been asking questions well before now.
Isn't that what Robert was doing?
No. He got lucky. He never knew what he was getting into.
Really? He just happened upon all this by dumb luck?
I find myself just as surprised as he probably does. He heard one story, then another, and he just had to start asking questions about the tunnels. That led him to this godforsaken place, which led him to me, which led to Ezekiel, which led him to everything else. So many pieces put in the right place, and then they just fell like dominoes. Almost like the universe wanted them to fall in this exact direction.
But that's not how the universe works, is it?
No, of course not. It was luck, pure and simple. Then again, how much of all of this is just luck?
And not Ahriman just pulling the strings of everything?
Oh, I'm sure he believes he's in control, just like I thought I was. But as I've come to find out, there are some things you just can't control.
Or plan for.
Too true. Too true indeed.
So, you said to look for something out of place, right?
I did.
Would some kind of latch count?
It might.
I kicked some of the rocks and found that this thing is attached to something.
Oh, this might be exactly what we're looking for. It's been hidden well.
Yeah, it blends in with the ground. I would have easily missed it.
I believe it's a door.
A door going down?
Yes. All the way into the tunnels.
Isn't that the exact opposite of hiding?
Hiding was never the long-term plan, was it? You had to know that.
So, what do you want to do now?
Knock some more dominoes over. See how far we can get them to fall before the whole thing comes crashing down. Care to join me?
Let's take the whole thing down, big brother.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Let's see what's down here, shall we?
Oh, I agree entirely.
No!
This is going to be so much fun.